All right, AJ, obviously you guys coming off a big win. I guess if you can talk a little bit about what you guys were able to accomplish in that one. And I know for you personally, 4 straight games in double digits. How do you feel like you and the rest of the guys are playing off that one?
I mean, yeah, obviously we've lost 4 in a row, but it was good for us to get our rhythm back and stuff. I've started to help a little bit. I had kind of a slow start to the season, but I've been able to pick it up a little bit. But yeah, it's just good for us to get in our rhythm. Everyone played well that game. Everyone, got to their spots, did what coach wanted to, and we came off the W. So hopefully we can continue to do that tomorrow against Miami.
Yeah, I'm sure when you guys looked at the schedule, to start this season, you saw that maybe this portion of the the games on the road, and then coming home for a second, and then hitting the road, and then starting conference play as well on the road. How do you guys kind of prepare for the travel and kind of staying mentally sharp, physically rested, and I guess how do you guys deal with that?
I mean, coming into it, not just this part of the season, but the whole season's kind of a grind. So, I mean, we're kind of used to it, but coach is always on us, just staying mentally prepared for anything and just not taking any day or any game lightly. So we're always just trying to stay ahead of the game and stay prepared for anything.
Coach talked a lot about the improvement of the defense and continuing that defensive aggression in the second half, where it's really shown from you guys in the first half. I guess what are you guys trying to do to keep that defensive energy up into the second after you guys have the lead in the first half?
I mean, honestly, it's just us to keep our foot on the gas the whole game. Usually we come out of the game with a lot of energy, and then we have a decent first half, and then the second half comes, and we're kind of drained a little bit. But coach has been honest about staying energetic, always like the bench, just always having energy, just talking on defense, just not trying to be selfish and keep to ourselves, but give to our teammates energy and stuff. So that's something we're working on, but I think we're getting better at it.
As one of the starters, one of the role players for the team, in a game, like last game where you guys are obviously up by quite a bit, and the other guys off the bench are able to get some minutes. How exciting is that to see those guys that really don't get to see the floor to get in and get some time and help contribute as well?
I mean, it's great to see because sometimes it can be a little disappointing to not have the minutes or shots you want, but to see them have fun playing the game out there is just great to see, and I just really enjoyed it.
What have you guys looked at in terms of specifically getting ready for Miami, Ohio? Anything in particular that you guys have seen in film that they do well, things that you guys want to do better than them, I guess, going into this matchup?
Yeah, I mean, we really want to get it out in transition and just, keep working on our defense to have it, tight and solid. I mean, we're getting better at that, but, that's something we really want to emphasize for next game because we feel if we can do that well for next game, it can really help us, throughout the season and stuff, so long term. So that's something we're focusing on.
Yeah, and I know, every game is important. You guys don't look at one game bigger than another, but, for these upcoming games, you guys got out of the 4-game funk, so you guys are, looking forward to getting it started in the Horizon League. Is this really when the momentum needs to start, from this Miami, Ohio game heading into Horizon League play?
Yeah, I mean, definitely the game, each game matters, like you said, and so definitely this game is, if we can get a win here, it'll be good momentum going into a conference play, which is very important. So hopefully we can get a W and get some good momentum going into conference play. So, yeah.
Start with just a little bit back to the last game, I guess. Obviously getting scoring from a lot of guys, getting a lot of guys off the bench in quality minutes. I guess how does that help the team, going forward, getting those guys some good minutes?
Well, we struggled the previous 2 games before that offensively, and it was an opportunity for us to kind of get well on that end. I thought one of the reasons we did is because we still guarded. Sometimes those games aren't easy because it's not a big motivator for your players, but coming off 4 losses, our kids, played like they were hungry. I thought defensively we were good, and offensively we were really good. I think we made our first 12 shots.
When you look at, going forward, looking at the season, I know you guys probably don't break down every single, the way the schedule goes, but when you looked at this stretch, going on the road and then, starting your first 2 conference games on the road, did you know that this was going to be a challenging time where the guys really needed to kind of show, step up and show their resilience?
Well, we've had we're going to have 5 games out of the next, we had those 2 home games at the conference games, and then the next 5 out of 6 were on the road. We knew that. I thought at Western Kentucky we competed well. I thought at Akron we competed well. We were just so bad offensively. And, so I think we're playing better on the road, but, really good teams win on the road, and they figure out ways to win on the road. I think any team can win at home. And so, we want to be a really good team. I don't think we're to that point yet in terms of, just saying we're a really good team, but, I understand that going on the road are the most difficult things to do, and so this is going to be important for us because we know after Christmas we have 2 more, and if we're going to get back in the conference race, then we're going to have to go win some road games.
Absolutely. Talking about Miami, I guess, what have you been able to see from them? Having played them in a couple years, anything new about this year's team?
Well, their whole team is almost new, other than a few players that have been there a while, and so Travis has got just a whole new organization there in terms of the offense they run and all those things, and so offensively we feel like they're going to be hard to guard. They have a good post player, which always makes things difficult for every team, and so we have to get that figured out. And they're strong up the middle, is what I say. They got a good point guard and a good post player, and the rest of those guys are able to play off of those too. And so I was thinking basketball, if you can have a good point guard and a good post player, it makes everybody else better.
Looking at some of the last few games, it seemed like it was 1 or 2 guys trying to kind of take the load, getting I think it was 5 guys in double digit. Was it good to see kind of more guys contributing and kind of that team effort that you'd like to see when you guys win in that way?
That's normal for us, that we have 4 or 5 guys that average double figures. Honestly, I don't even know where we are right now. I don't look at our stats that often. I look at our team stats, but not the individual stats. And so, but yeah, our thought process, if we want to share the ball, that nobody be so offensive minded, that they look like they're being selfish. And it's hard because some of the guys would want to be selfish and they don't want to be because it's good for the team. And so there are a lot of things you have to balance in team dynamics. But certainly, yes, the more guys that can average double figures, the harder it is for the defense to focus on one guy.
Talk about Alex Hebrig's, last year getting some minutes, and now this year really seeing quite a bit of the floor and really contributing. What have you seen from his maturity and his progression from last season all the way now up until this point?
Well, he had back surgery last year, and so really didn't play much at all. And so my concern one is that he have a normal life in terms of the back surgery. It's turned out very well. He's been playing well for us. I know that he wants to shoot the ball better. We're not concerned about that. We know he's a great shooter, and those things will come. But, he's still competing on the defensive end, even when things aren't going that well for him offensively. Now, I know the last game he had a career high, which is what we need. We need him to be able to come off the bench and kind of light it up for us. And so I think the last game was important for him.
In terms of some of the games, too, I know we've talked about it in past post conferences about, you guys are up at halftime, just in the second half, just comes up short. I guess it's not a lack of energy from the guys. It's just the way the game flows. I guess, how have you guys addressed that, or is there any discussion at all about going forward with that?
Yeah, the pattern's been defensively we've been pretty good in the first half, and we fall off in the second half. And really it's because the defense is in front of our bench in the first half, and so there's more communication, obviously because the coaches are close, and the communication is just so important on the defensive end. And so then in the second half, they're down there and they're not in front of our bench, and so they need to rely on each other, and we don't have a great communicating team, and so that's been a big focus for us, that we become a better defensive team in the second half than what we've been doing.
Going forward, just some things you'd like to see in these next couple games, anything in particular, some improvements, keys to success kind of thing, if you will?
Well, I kind of like where our defense has been. I always want that to improve. I think the major thing for us to improve is the turnovers. I don't know what we're averaging. I know we've had more than our fair share in the past couple of games, and so I want our guys to have a good focus on it because we shoot a pretty good percentage. And so, I would like to see us take better care of the ball because, we shoot a good percentage. And the other thing is I'd like to see us get to the free throw line more.